the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Loaded up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh, you take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. Take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the aggressive news show with less BS. I am your host, Marlon, along with Tracy Carson. Theus Robinson and Anna Hart is on the way. They're running late, so they're going to get written up. It is what it is. They know the rules. I'm just making stuff up as I go along just to try to waste time. So how's everything going, Tracy?
It's been another hot day. Apparently, we had a tornado touchdown. And Shelbyville, which is about 20 minutes away. No, about an hour and 20 minutes away. There's that, but it's calm now.
All right. Well, we're going to try to keep this show under 4 hours. Try to keep this show under 3 hours. Try to keep this show as short as we can. And we already off to a good start because if you can see from the title, we was going to talk about the Wagner Group versus the Russian army. I got a hold of this, Tracy, I want to say Friday. At the very least, Friday night, I got wind of this. And I thought it would be, a good segment to talk about and the ongoing and, sometimes you need to chill out and stop trying to think that you Billy Bad Butt when you really not and everything. It's already over. It's literally already over. I would say 48 hours, but I'm not even particularly sure about that. Maybe 30 hours later. It's like, okay. So I literally have a video, 3 minutes, a 3-minute video showing from the beginning to the end what happened. That's embarrassing, Russia. That's really, really embarrassing. Like, whatever. So we are already off to a good start of keeping the show short. Now, I'm saying that right now because it's just me and Tracy.
Yep, we know how to keep shows short.
But I got some videos that's going to probably make it tad bit longer when our other 2 co-hosts come on. So let's see what's going on. Okay, you're here, Tracy.
I wasn't here when I posted that.
Oh, okay. And look who's decided
Susan,
to show us. Hey! Susan! Hello, Susan. Susan hasn't been on the show, but Susan has been commenting.
She sure has.
Now, and Susan be, woo. Oh, she also said that the balloon story was fake too. So
nobody thinks that story is real.
It was funny though. So without further ado, let's get this party started. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The Wagner is a contracted military group that the Russians was using behind Ukrainian borders. It's their, you had to put it in, find a U.S. special group, just contract. So don't think they're Russian army. They're not. There's the Russian army. There's Wagner, the contracted military group. They're not like the Russian army. These are battle-tested military. You have to go through some things to join this group. Like, they done seen some things and they done some things. And they have done some horrific things. So I want to preface this by, well, I'll tell you my preference at the end of the video. This happened either Friday or Saturday. This whole situation happened Friday or Saturday. And the whole situation is over with. I literally have a little over a 3-minute video that goes chronologically in order what happened, all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. So here we go.
A weekend of chaos and drama in Russia. Mercenaries declared a mutiny and then called it off in under 24 hours. Yevgeny Prigozhin issued a call for rebellion, the head of the Wagner mercenary group, accusing top Russian military commanders of gross mismanagement of the war in Ukraine. Then Prigozhin released video of an alleged Russian airstrike on a Wagner camp in Ukraine, demanding revenge. Russia's defense ministry denied the attack, and soon Russia's top prosecutor announced criminal charges against Prigozhin. Then, in the early hours of Saturday, Prigozhin followed through on his threats, sending his fighters across the border from Ukraine back into Russia. Footage surfaced at dawn showing Wagner fighters surrounding the military headquarters in the southern Russian city of Rostov. Some locals stood nearby, watching. At around 7:30 a.m., Prigozhin was then shown dressing down senior Russian military leaders and issuing demands.
Again, we came here. We want to receive the Chief of General Staff and Shoigu. Until they show up, we are located here, blockading the city of Rostov, and we'll go to Moscow.
Video showed columns of Wagner troops heading north towards the capital, along the way claiming control of military installations in the Voronezh region. Footage later showed at least one Russian helicopter narrowly avoiding a missile. At 10 a.m. Moscow time, Russian President Vladimir Putin made a televised address to the nation, calling the rebellion a stab in the back.
All those who deliberately chose the path of treachery, who prepared an armed mutiny, who chose the path of blackmail and terrorist methods will face inevitable punishment and will answer both to the law and to our people.
The Kremlin announced counter-terrorism measures, tightening security in Moscow. But by Saturday night, suddenly a Kremlin reversal. Putin's spokesman announced a deal. Prigozhin released an audio message saying his troops would turn around and go back to field camps to avoid shedding Russian blood. Supporters chanted Wagner as fighters drove out of Rostov, giving Prigozhin handshakes as he left in this SUV. The Kremlin says it's dropped charges and Prigozhin will go to Belarus, while promising his fighters contracts with the Russian military. For now, a crisis apparently averted. But this very public betrayal and the mercenaries' short but unimpeded march on Moscow reveals deep weakness at the heart of the Putin regime. Ivan Watson, CNN.
So, why did I even want to even show this video when I really haven't really been into foreign diplomacy, the war, and everything like that, other than the very first time the war opened up. The ending of that video is what I wanted to show. And the ending of those people cheering the Wagner Group and applauding and high-fiving and you showed them and everything else. This is what I mean by stop waiting till some of these people who done the most heinous things in the world all of a sudden do what is right. First of all, the Wagner people didn't do anything right. That's retaliation. Doing something right would mean, okay, Russia, you're going too damn far, so we're sick of this. We're going to go in there. We're going to stop you ourselves. That's doing right. This is not doing right. This was retaliation because they said that the Russian military attacked one of their bases. Now, if anybody is confused about what I'm saying, let's bring it back to America. When people like Bill Barr, when any of Trump's old attorneys, people like that, when they start turning on, okay, we're not saying Republicans anymore, conservative, when they're turning on Trump, that does not make them the good guy now. That just means they did something right. That's it. That does not automatically make them the good guy. And that's what I'm saying. I'm so tired of seeing these people who do these heinous things. They don't have the power anymore that they used to do these heinous things. They start talking back towards the heinous things, and now everybody is clapping their hands and kudos to them. No. They're not doing these things because it's a good thing. Bill Barr, if you do not remember, Bill Barr, who was the attorney for Trump, remember that bombing at the park in Washington so Trump could take a picture holding the Bible upside down in front of a church that he wasn't invited to and everything else? Yeah, Bill Barr set that up. The whole thing up, the whole march. And now he's speaking against Trump, and I'm seeing things, well, at least he's saying the right thing. Well, at least he's not part of Trump's truth. Well, at least he's... No, bro, that ain't how this works. You doing it now because you don't have the power you used to have when Trump was in office. And you stayed all 4 years with him, and you became his personal attorney, going even as far as trying to protect him from civil matters in court. It had nothing to do with the United States. So that's why I just want to do. I know I'm just off the deep end showing that video. I just getting tired of the tweets and the Facebook and all these people giving kudos for people. Michael Cohen, who quite honestly is, you're just doing it because you butt hurt because we've been telling you for the longest time that Trump was going to flip on you. He did flip on you, and now you go tell it all. You go tell it the way it is. No, you're still the villain in this story. You're still the villain. You want to get something out of it, but you're still the villain. That's it.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
It
Thea.
is.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, no, you good. So the Russian thing doesn't really, whatever on that, because I look at it and I say Russia ain't my enemy. Russia is an adversary of America, but it's not my enemy. Just like China's not my enemy. It's an adversary to the nation because they're all jockeying for position. And so they do stuff. So in the standpoint of this, I don't even know if you want to call this a coup or not, because it's kind of hard to call it a coup when you didn't even get to the city. You just kind of like head faked. And then we're like, yeah, I'll let my people continue to fight for you, but now you're going to have to be the one responsible for them. And then I'll go over here and stay out the way. That's basically what that whole thing shook out to. Mm-hmm. So, that's cool. I agree with you as far as like you don't let somebody completely clean their record because they finally start saying stuff that makes sense. But at the same time, when you got a couple of adversaries and they start fighting amongst themselves, yeah, I'm gonna cheer them on. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Michael, tell it, tell it all. Go ahead. You heard what Trump said about you? What you think about that? Oh, Bill Barr said something about your mama. I'm all for it, man. Push while they over there fighting, push them and let them keep fighting each other. Because as long as they fighting each other, they ain't got a whole lot of time for us. So I'm cool with it. The Russian thing, if it pulls any of the attention away from what they're able to do in Ukraine for a little bit, hey Anna,
Hey, yeah.
then I'm all for that too. You know. So yeah, I don't know. Is I think it's a pretty fun little weekend story. But it's funny how with
Fun little
America we
day
look
story.
at, huh?
It was a fun little day story.
Yeah, it carried you through the weekend, gave you something to talk about. And went to sleep on Saturday, woke up Sunday, and it was like, oh, they agreed to just let it, just watch it. Like two homies that was like, all right, man, we got a little too heated. All right, you did some stuff, I did some stuff. You know,
Let's dab it up. Let's dab it up, man. Let's hug it out.
yeah, just let this one ride, man. We just,
A good story.
you know. But then like the other thing is like how America. I want people to check out the narratives of how the media works itself. It's always simple when we're talking about somebody overseas, but then it's so complicated when it's over here. Over there, it's so simple. It was a coup against Putin, and does that mean that the Russian government is falling apart? And then blah blah blah. But we had a whole terrorist attack here against Congress, and they didn't say the country was falling apart. They wanted to just be like, well, it was an insurrection, and we eventually arrested some people. But no coup, no coup. So whatever, man.
All right, Tracy.
International affairs are not my strong suit. They never have been. I know I should be more concerned about them. I know I should be. But the way that the media has framed this is like, oh, Russia's doing such terrible things to the Ukrainian people, and they are. Did America forget that they're the skillet calling the pot black? Like, you're doing exactly the same thing to countries like Somalia. You're creating atrocities in Africa. And forget all them countries right here in the United States. Let's skip all those other countries that they're doing stuff and meddling in elections. I'm like, you're doing the exact same thing, and they're the bad guys. Oh, okay, I guess if that's how you want to make yourself feel better, but
Did we have a discussion over the messenger recently? Was it a Bosnia president that signed into law against gay rights that you just, and I'm gonna make it as simple as I possibly can. You can't be gay in public.
oh no, that was in
That was
Africa.
at Uganda.
Uganda.
I
I
know.
couldn't remember. I know it was in Africa. I just couldn't remember. It was a specific
Yeah,
president.
I think. And last time I remember, I might have this wrong, but there's literally like 17 countries that it's punishable by death
Yep.
to be gay, and it's like some crazy number like 70 or something like that have laws that can punish gay activity or behavior, right? It's like some of them will kill you and some of them will punish you, you know, and that's just normal around the world. It's,
Yeah, but my
it was
point
one of the reasons I get on my tirades about religion because that's where it all comes out of.
but my
I'm not
point
blaming the
was,
religion itself, but the people who follow them should find a way to get there.
I know my point was, but then somebody put an article out saying the United States is thinking about getting involved with the president. I guess you're now saying Uganda, the president of Uganda
Ted
about.
Cruz spoke
I'm
up
like,
about it.
Yeah, it's about,
dude,
yeah,
you're
they
doing the same thing over here.
All while they're attacking queer and gay people here
I'm
in
like, what are
America
you talking
wholesale.
about? You're doing the same thing over here.
It's not bad because we're doing
But they're not
it.
saying they're going to kill them. They're not saying they're going to kill
Yeah.
them. So that
We
makes
just
it
want to destroy their
different.
No, I'm sorry.
future,
The pastor that said line
Yeah.
them up
get
and shoot
them
them in the
really
back of the
close,
head.
and then change our mind. Get
The,
them
Yeah,
real
we
the
just
close.
want to
talk
make
of
sure they feel
extermination.
harassed wherever they go, and
Then we'll
they
build little
can't really have a
camps.
job.
Oh
And
no, so we're gonna forget about the pastor that said that they need to be fairly prosecuted, which is about the BS because you skipped all the way to and then found guilty and then shot in the back of the head.
no, the pastor said they should be killed. Yes,
So
Hold up,
but
wait a
to
minute.
be
I missed
fair,
something. Wait a minute,
And one
Pastor.
yeah,
of
there's one so-called Christian pastor who cited that one verse out of the Bible about killing gay people. But the funny thing about it though is that was one cat, right? And even if there was 10 of them, 10 pastors, it's that same thing Tracy tries to warn us about, in that everything has a fringe element. Everything does. So this guy, even for the crazies, he's a crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he over there. But the problem with crazy is if the sane people don't stand up against it, more people start to normalize the thought, and it's not so crazy anymore.
right.
Right? Now it's just a little edgy, right? Because you get used to hearing it, so the sting wears off. That's why you can't call people racist and expect that to really matter anymore. Call people racist, that sting don't work no more. They're so used to hearing it.
Hey Mickey.
Hey, Mickey, where was you
Hey, Mickey.
yesterday? No, I'm joking.
Where was you yesterday? A few months ago, rebels in Uganda torched a school for the blind, killing over 40 children. How much press did that get here? None, because I didn't hear about that.
None.
Yep, didn't hear about it.
I ain't hear about that
Ain't
at
too
all.
dark to get. Oh, shut up, Tracy. Shut up.
But
Shut up.
remember,
Shut
but
up.
remember
Shut up.
when what was it? ISIS was killing people all across um the Middle East, or whatever part they were in. Afghanistan, I think, is where they were. And the same time they were doing that, whatever that ISIS adjacent group in Africa and Nigeria, every once in a while we would hear about them kidnapping whole villages worth of children. Right? People don't care because there's not enough bandwidth to care. Kind of like we were having the submarine discussion yesterday. People only have so much bandwidth, right? So you can't get all worked up about every atrocity, or you will literally burn out. And America is really good at saying, don't look over here. Look at our enemies we told you are enemy, right? We told you that China bad. We told you Russia bad. So now you think everybody in Russia and everybody in China is bad. No, just like America, most of the people are just fine. It's the few oligarchs and kleptocrats who are calling the shots that is really bad.
All right, what you got, Anna?
I don't have much to add to that except that in Russia there is talk of multiple coups, a lot of movement. One needs some special. That's about it. I covered it.
All right. Oh, we got a small group of people who not internationally. So let's move
I'm
on
trying.
because these stories are pretty long, and I wanted to share this story. And I may share it again. The Friday when me and Theus does Friday night, guys. I may share it again.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to share it as a group first. It's pretty long, and when I tell you it's pretty long, like I broke it up into two pieces, and it's still over 4 minutes of video. But I couldn't cut it any better than this. I didn't want to cut anything out because then if I did, it would get really confusing. So, Tracy, you don't have to ask, but wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. It's 2 videos.
I'm just sitting here.
Oh, wait,
He was preempting your
I'm
preemptive.
preempting your wait. There's
How
more
you-
thing.
They just be picking on me. Oh.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, what bothers me about this
Jamie.
video is something I've seen before, and I'll give you a glimpse into what I'm talking about. When couples issues affect other couples, either significant other or marriage, when other people's problems wind up affecting other couples, that's friends of them, acquaintances of them, they overheard the story somewhere and discussed it and blah blah blah. So let's go ahead and get into it real quick so we can at least finish on Sunday.
Going to be juicy. My 40 female best friend, 38 female, is going through a divorce with her husband, 44 male. We'll call them Alice and Ken. My husband, 37 male, and I have been together for 10 years and have always been close with Ken and Alice. Alice and I have been friends since long before we met either of our partners. My husband and Ken have become good friends over the years, and they hang out, just the two of them, semi-frequently. About a month ago, Ken told Alice he wants a divorce. She told me for the last 6 months they've been having issues. According to her, the problems stem from Ken's issues with her job. 3 years ago, she accepted a promotion at her company. The promotion required her to travel 3 to 4 months out of the year, and she works a lot, even when she isn't on assignment. This promotion required her to travel 3 to 4 months out of the year, and she works a lot, even when she isn't on assignment. She's always been insanely ambitious and successful. I think it's important to note that Ken works full-time as a tradesman. He works out of his shop, metalwork, on their property, and stays pretty busy. She makes more than he does, but I wouldn't call her the breadwinner. Alice has a daughter, 12 female, from a previous relationship. Bio dad isn't in the picture, and Ken has been her dad since she was 4. According to her, Ken has been asking her to either take a position that requires less hours and responsibility or find a new job that doesn't require any travel. She's been telling him she will, but has been putting it off, thinking he'd drop it eventually. This has been going on for a while. She didn't tell me how long exactly. It all came to a head when she extended a business trip while on the trip and forgot about a family vacation they had planned for when she got back. She didn't consult him about extending her business trip before agreeing to it. She apologized and promised to make it up to him and their daughter. She said she didn't have a choice when it came to extending the business trip. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. Ken was upset but didn't blow up. When she got home, though, his stuff was packed and he'd moved most of his shop and his tools into storage. He hadn't told her any of this and was acting like everything was fine till this point. She called me and was crushed. She kept saying, "I didn't think he'd do it," over and over. What was at first sadness on her and quickly became resentment and anger when Ken made it clear there was no getting back together. Ken and my husband were in contact during this whole ordeal. Husband knew they were having issues but didn't know the full extent of it until after Ken left Alice. Ken told my husband that Alice had been checked out of the relationship ever since she took the new position. They don't do anything as a family anymore. Alice doesn't make time for them to talk when she travels. I guess he asked her for some nudes and sexy dirty talk a few times and she rejected him but had time to go out with coworkers. They don't have sex anymore. He'd voiced these issues numerous times and she blew him off, according to Ken. Everything became much worse after a particular incident that is hard to even type about without cringing. Ken and Alice had been separated for about 3 weeks. Their daughter was bouncing back and forth between Ken's apartment and their old home that Alice was staying in. It was Ken's weekend with their daughter. He brings her back Sunday evenings. Well, Alice went on a bender and literally forgot what day it was, and she was so effed up, this isn't like her. She thought it was Saturday. It was Sunday. Ken shows up with her daughter and walks in on a shit show. Alice had 2 younger men there. They were drunk and in the hot tub. They weren't in the act, but it was clear what was going on. She started freaking out, calling Ken names, screaming that it wasn't Sunday yet. Ken kept their daughter in his truck so she didn't see the worst of it. They left. The next day, she had no idea what had happened. She had texted Ken horrible things while she was effed up. I only saw them because Ken sent my husband screenshots. I won't say word for word what they said, but it was really personal shit. Since this, Ken is going nuclear. He wants the house. He wants custody. He adopted their daughter long ago. He wants child support. He's taking her to the cleaners, as they say. I know this isn't Alice. She's going through shit. She needs friends right now, and I'm literally all she has. Her own daughter would rather stay with Ken. I'm not going to cut my best friend out over this. The issue? My husband wants me to cut her out. He said some really terrible things about her. He's called her a shitty mother. I know she loves her daughter. He's also called her a self-absorbed effing bee. He says he doesn't want me getting sucked into her drama and behavior. While I insist she'll turn around and just needs help right now, he shuts it down, saying this is who she really is, and he doesn't know why I want to associate with people like her. I know a lot of this is just shit Ken has told him, and he's defending his buddy. I'm not excusing her behavior, but I think it's unreasonable for him to want me to cut my best friend out. She asked me to go out with her a few times, and I went once without telling my husband because I knew what he'd say. I just wanted to talk to her in person. After I told him we met up, he went ballistic and repeated that if I don't cut her out, we'll have issues too. Any advice navigating this would be appreciated.
You're muted.
I'll mute myself on that one.
Sorry, I'm 110%. I know that's the creative math on the side of the husband. Actually, I agree with both husbands, but I'm on the side of the husband of the OP in that I wouldn't tell you you got to cut your friend out. Because that's not, it's a hard thing to tell somebody to do. But here's the situation. Your friend has only been separated for about 3 weeks. Your friend allegedly hasn't had an emotional or physical connection with her husband, even though that's not really our issue. That's just part of the background. Within 3 weeks of them being separated, she's having men over to the house getting blackout drunk. That says to me that even if she's spiraling at this point, she's spiraling within 3 weeks, which means it takes time to set these types of situations up and get in a particular headspace. So she was up to some shit before. Okay, he just didn't know. He can't hold it against her because he can't prove it. But people's behaviors tell stories, right? What you do informs what you are. So the fact that she was that reckless, and then the child's getting involved, being affected by it, the whole nine, and then I'm sitting here in my marriage, and I'm like, but this your homegirl though, right? This your ace. So, now you telling me that you gonna sneak and go hang out with her because you don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation with me. So now you lying to me for her. Okay. You need to figure out where you stand and where your loyalties lie and what you want, because you about to be just like her in a second. Because I'm not going to sit here and play second fiddle to your friend. Not going to happen. So that's why I'm on the side of the OP's husband, and I empathize with Kent. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a rough situation to be in. And then once I walk in and I catch you doing some shit like that, and I got our daughter, you know what I'm saying? Our daughter could have walked in this room with me. Okay? I don't care about any of your excuses, none of that. Our daughter could have walked in this room with me and seen all of this at 12 years old. Damn right, I'm running your pocket so hard. I'm going to hit you like, yo, I'm going to hit you like I'm the woman in this situation and you the dude that makes a lot of money. Run them pockets. Nah, we ain't going to play this. But that's my take.
I can't help but agree with everything, and I thought I wasn't. I literally can't help it. Sis, let me have a word with you on just two major things. Sorry. Two major things. I honestly shouldn't have to tell you to give me conversation when you're out of town. I shouldn't beg you to do that. If I have to do that, you ain't cared about any situation. I mean, any situation. I can see if I would even be upset about if you was calling just to check on the daughter, but you wasn't checking up on me. At the very least, I'm like, hey, it's two of us here by ourselves. But you ain't doing that. You ain't even doing that. But that's the least of my issue with you. The most issue with you, and I get the hot tub, the two guys. Well, I get that. I'm not taking away from that that. Nobody, I do mean nobody, should get that pissy drunk that you forgot what day it was. Let me repeat that. Nobody should get that
And
drunk.
brought two strange men to the house your child lives in.
But you got so drunk, you forgot what day it was. See, the funny thing about it is, this is why I'm not putting too much. I'm not taking away from it, but why I'm not concentrating too much on the hot tub and the two guys. You got so drunk that you forgot what day it was. You thought it was Saturday. So that plan with the guys in the hot tub was going to happen regardless. You just messed up your days. In 3 weeks, you done moved on, and I'm not even talking about you moved on to a whole nother relationship. You moved on to something totally in left field. 3 weeks after your husband left you and where your daughter still visits. Everything that you're doing right now has been brewing in your head. And I'm going to tell you the one line that popped off on me that just resonated in me in this story. When you told your friend, I didn't think he would do it. That means you held that conversation before that if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to leave. You blinked and he pulled the trigger. So you held that conversation before. You called his bluff and he didn't bluff. So you knew this was getting effed up. I quote, I didn't think he would do it. So all he had to do was stay, and you were still going to do. The guy, what was the guy's name? The ex,
Ken.
Huh?
Ken is the husband with the daughter.
Ken. So Ken already, excuse me, Ken already warned you that this wasn't going to work out. You need to get your crap together and everything else. You ain't care.
She thought she was in the power position.
Yeah, you thought she was in the power position.
He's not going to leave his. He's not going to leave his daughter. He's not going to leave, the situation. He'll stick in there. Yeah. He's complaining. Whatever. Meanwhile, she out. I'm serious. For me, like, if she didn't get blackout drunk, then I could just be like, okay, so she's overly ambitious and she works too hard and she had her priorities screwed up, played it too far, and the marriage fell apart. Happens all the time on either side of the equation. Happens all the time. But that you get blackout pissy drunk to the point that you don't remember nothing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That tells me that when you on these so-called business trips, you wilding out there too.
I'm sorry. Thank you for even reminding me that. So not only do you get so pissy drunk that you forgot what day it is, the following day, you don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, because your brain shuts off.
You know what that tells me? You got mad, you got frustrated, and you got irritated with Ken, and as soon as he drove away with the daughter, you went right back to doing what you was doing.
Oh no, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been blackout drunk before.
Absolutely
but
not.
once you black out, you do not remember. That was my wake-up call one time when I was at a party. I was fine, and then I woke up laying on my bathroom floor across town, right? And my homeboy sitting there laughing at me. He was my roommate, and he's like, "Man, you should have seen yourself." You didn't tell him and all the stories of the dumb stuff I was doing. So when you black out drunk, you literally, your brain has already shut off. Your body's moving, but your brain ain't there. And you can't recall that memory. My thing is, though, for you to allow yourself to get in that position says something. You see what I'm saying? And then the fact that she got that way, and even within that, they came to her house. See, even when you black out drunk and you can't remember stuff, in the time you're still functioning. So you wouldn't naturally bring strangers to your house. I don't care how drunk you are. You see what I'm saying? So there's some weird stuff going on with this woman, and it's self-destructive behavior. It's all kinds of stuff. But here you go. So if it was the roles were reversed and there was some dude sitting and then the husband was sitting in there with two, women in the hot tub, people would say, yeah, it's time to go, and yeah, you gotta go to court, fight for custody, and do what you need to do for you and your daughter. So I'm saying the exact same thing.
All right, we're gonna go on to the second story, and when we come back, we're just gonna let the women commentate on the second story. I want to be separate. I want to spread this around to everybody, not just me and Thea's. So when we come back the second hour, I'm gonna mute myself. So please, Tracy, please, Anna, don't look to me to wait to say something because I'm gonna already be muted. As soon as the video is over, jump right on in there. So here's the second part. And I'm going to preface it by telling Thea's, yeah, those two guys that was in the hot tub, they wasn't strangers.
Update. Me, 40 female, my husband 37 male, married 10 years. My best friend Alice, 38 female, and her husband Ken, 44 male, married roughly 8 years. This is not a happy update. Alice and I made plans to get together on Saturday morning. I was going to get us coffee and help her with a few things around her house before she left for a business trip Monday. My intention was to tell her that we, her family and mine, are worried about her and we all want to see her happy, but her behavior was worrying us. I was hoping we'd have a heart-to-heart. I was hoping I'd see my friend again. I was hoping she'd agree to see a therapist. I was hoping she'd take a step in the right direction. None of that happened. She was combative from the second I showed up at her place, almost like she knew what my intentions were before I even said anything. When I told her I was worried about her, she said that she was fine and has just been blowing off some steam and having some fun. She said she works hard and can do whatever she wants now that Ken left her. She talked about how ungrateful Ken was over the years for all of her hard work and everything she's paid for and done for him. It made me cringe, but I bit my tongue. For the record, Ken is a hardworking guy who didn't need her money. He was the breadwinner when they first got together. She makes quite a bit more than him now, but in no way was he dependent on her. Some of you pointed out that it was likely Alice was cheating on Ken. I asked her and she got extremely defensive. She gave me the whole, I can't believe you'd even ask me that attitude. I reminded her about the hot tub incident and the optics of it all. She blew it off and swore she'd never cheated. I asked who the guys were. Turns out they were interns at her company. When I asked how old they were, she simply said they were legal. The way she said it made me wonder if that's how dirty old men talk about younger women. It was gross. Whether or not she was cheating before the breakup, I don't know. I don't really know anything about this woman anymore. Here's where things took an unexpected turn. As we chatted, she was packing for her business trip. I asked her where she was going this time. She said Dallas. I didn't think anything of it. She's gone to Dallas for business dozens of times. What did strike me as odd was what she was packing. Long pants, sweatshirts, a beanie, jackets, hiking boots. It was all fall attire and not what she'd be wearing in Dallas this time of year. I don't think I even saw her pack work clothes. But the weirdest thing? A random Seattle Mariners jersey. She doesn't follow baseball. She never has. I thought about saying something but kept my questions to myself. It was all just odd. I felt like she was preoccupied with packing and her daughter coming over soon, so I decided to head out. We hugged. I told her I loved her and wanted to be happy. I told her I hope she considers seeing a therapist when she gets back. She said, I'll think about it. Things did seem to end on a positive tone. When I got home, hubby and I were talking about how things went, and I told him about the clothes she was packing and the random Seattle Mariners jersey. He thought it was odd too, but other than it just being odd, we didn't think anything of it at the time. But then hubby went full internet detective, and guess who lives in Seattle and has a Facebook profile picture of himself at a Mariners game? Her daughter's biological father. My heart sank. When I checked the Mariners schedule, they do have home games next week. I called her immediately and asked her if she was really going to Dallas. She responded, yeah, why? I asked her if she was sure she wasn't going to see X's name in Seattle. She got quiet. There was probably a full minute of silence. I told her she better not lie to me and that I'd find out. She came clean. She said she had gotten in contact with him right after Ken left her, and they'd been talking more and more. She said he was a different man now and has turned his life around, blah, blah, blah. I didn't talk about her baby daddy in the last post because it wasn't relevant, but just know that this man is a piece of shit human being. He cheated on her while she was pregnant and kicked her out when she confronted him. He'd slap her around, call her terrible names. This effing guy said he wanted nothing to do with her child also. I flew to Seattle, picked her up, and brought her home. She lived with me for a bit. She met Ken shortly after having her daughter, and within a year of dating, they moved in together. I told her that of all the shit she's pulled recently, this was by far the worst thing she could do. I told her I was disappointed in her. I couldn't believe she would ever speak to that man after what he did to her and how he treated her. She kept saying it was years ago and she's changed and he wants to meet his daughter one day. I started screaming and yelling into the phone so loud I think I blew out my voice. I told her I was done with her. I told her if she gets on that plane to Seattle to not bother contacting me ever again. I hung up on her. She called back and texted once, but I ignored it. I didn't have the energy for her anymore. I just sat on the couch crying all night while my husband held me. He didn't rub it in. He didn't give me attitude. He just let me cry and told me he was sorry. Alice texted me this morning. She said she's sorry for lying to me, but she's a big girl now and can look after herself. I asked her if she's still going to Seattle. She said yes. I blocked her. It's over. I told Ken everything. He was upset but not surprised. He said he knew how close Alice and I were and he's sorry that I'd lost my friend. I told him I was sorry he'd lost his wife. You guys were right. I feel like an effing idiot. Maybe it's a little selfish of me, but I feel betrayed. Wow.
And I think we're supposed to talk. You go for. I don't even know. Oh,
You want me to go for? Okay.
yes, please go first.
There were red flags all over this, and I had a sneaking suspicion. Business trips weren't business trips. Why do you feel the need to hang on to such a friend? And I use that word loosely. I would have been done long before. This is too much. You as soon as the daughter, no. I really can't. I can't explain it. I don't have. I've had a lot of really close friends. I've never truly had a best friend, like that one person you could always call all your life. I really hope that you think about yourself and your marriage.
Wow, you were a whole lot nicer than I was gonna be.
Okay.
I don't even know what to make of this. This is. I'm just like, huh? Interns? They're legal? What?
Yeah, there's so much wrong with this. I'm sorry, let me just one last thing is
Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
today has been like a very, very packed day for me. Brain bit foggy. I've been like reaching for words, so my apologies. My neurological flares will show up tonight. And I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing, unfortunately. I think I have to restart my phone. But Sweetheart, you should have broken that friendship off a long time ago. That's just all I'll say.
She messed around and found out.
Mm-hmm.
The husband kept telling her, hey, you need to, although his threat, I'm like, dude, you probably shouldn't have said it like that. You probably said, you need to separate from her. Don't say if you don't separate, it's a problem for us. Okay, maybe there would be, but I don't know. That whole statement bothered me. But part of me can see why she wanted to stay in the sleeping with interns ladies like, because you want, when you see somebody go into a downward spiral, you get in that superhero complex syndrome. You want to rescue them from themselves. They had to be really careful not to. There are some people you can help,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's some people who don't want to be helped. And clearly, this friend, she's definitely the second one. She doesn't want to be helped. But when you're watching somebody go into that spiral, whether it's alcoholism, drug abuse, addiction, being in an abusive, verbal or physical abusive relationship, you want to help them and just not shake them. Well, yeah, literally just be like, what's wrong with you? Listen, if you just do this. And it's a hard thing to realize you can't save people that don't want to be saved. This lady she obviously has deeper problems than sleeping with interns at her own job. I mean, her job has to have some kind of policy about, hey, don't have personal relationships with your interns, and then say, they're legal? How legal are they? Because that just, I mean, if that gets out, she's gonna not have a job. And then for her to connect to the father, the biological dad who beat her and didn't want anything to do with her or the child, there's something literally wrong with her. Because I can't figure out, again, I'm looking from the outside in. I can't figure out what would make you want to go back to somebody that not only physically abused you, probably verbally abused you, but didn't want to have anything to do with your child, and then says, I want to be part of my child's life. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you slapped me. I don't know. That's just me. Forgiveness is one thing. You can forgive almost anything. But that doesn't mean you got to go back to what it was. You can forgive somebody, let them go, and be like, okay, but we don't have to be together. I wonder what's wrong with her, like her psyche, to make her think, yeah, this is an option. When she had a man here who was willing to adopt a child that was not even his and take that role of father, and all he literally wanted to do was spend time with her. What would make her flip to just work so much and think she has to work and 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 work, where she's neglecting probably not just her husband, but most likely her child? I mean, think about it. In that video, God was saying the daughter doesn't even want to be around her. That's a horrible thing for a child to say, whether it's their mother or whether it's their father. She didn't want to be with that. She'd rather be with the parent that isn't her biological parent than you. Something
Is that
about
certain
that,
at 12?
and that's at so young. I mean, that's where I'm like, lady, you don't get it. But again, I'm in that superhero complex. I want to get in there and rescue, and you cannot save people if you can't help people that don't want to be helped. This lady does not want to be helped at all. She's gonna keep being destructive, and then when something bad happens and she hits bottom, it's gonna be bad, 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 bad. And that's all I have to say.
I agree.
Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and cut it short. We're 5 minutes in, and we start talking again, doggone well, we're going to go over. So we're going to go ahead and cut it 5 minutes short, our first hour. We're gonna come back to a Am I the A-hole? We're gonna come back to a funny as crap, real or nah. And of course, Foxy's videos of the week. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally, finally, I wanna be free, finally, finally, I always say dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally,
We are back, and as usual, before we even get started into the second hour, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/a better Tracy Media page. Help support Tracy in all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/complex mind. Help support Thea's and all of his endeavors. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/radical truth to power. Exactly the way it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Help support me in all of my endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, borelli.etc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, you can email me at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. Normally I have jokes and everything like that, but I'm like seriously tired, but not sleepy, cause apparently what you don't want to do when you've been sitting on your lazy butt for the longest period of time is to do strenuous exercise and think you're going to go to sleep and have a peaceful sleep where your body still wants to move. And that's what happened last night. including a cramp in the middle of the night while you was sound asleep that got you to jump up out of your bed, hoping you'll wake your wife up. Then you come home and you done remodeled the whole studio, and now it's time to clean it. So yeah, even if I was to get off right now, I doubt I'll be going to sleep anytime soon. That's where I'm at right now. How y'all doing?
I made a mistake of walking by my bed on break, and I could go to sleep.
I never can go to
So,
sleep.
say what?
I didn't take no type of nap today.
Oh, I did. Us being on so late last night, I still woke up. I didn't go to bed till 2,
Ooh, I had a
and I
hard
woke
time.
up at 6.
I had a hard time at church. I was like, okay. Let me just keep moving.
But I tell you what happened though, and I truly appreciate it. When I got up, my wife said, well, she told me last night what was going to happen. I just didn't know that she was going to pay for it. But my wife treated me to dinner tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
And
That's nice.
we went to some Japanese place where you cook your own food. They marinated.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Like a fondue type spot?
It's not a fondue type spot because we had a place called.
Wait a minute. You cook your own food?
I may be a little sleepy because I can't remember because I've been saying it all
There's
literally.
a restaurant called the Melting Pot that's
Melting
like
Pot.
a fondue type of thing.
Now the melted pot. Well, here's the deal. We used it as a fondue place. Technically, they cook food. We just always used to go in there for desserts. But if you look at the menu, they had different foods that you cook. So if you can picture it, all it is that one person is sitting on one side, one person is sitting on the other side of the table. But in the middle of the table is a heater, so to speak. What it really looks like, the people who have gas stoves. So you know how you light the stove and the flame on one. That's really what it looks like, and it has a crate over it. So that's where you put your marinated meat is on the crate, and you cook the food that way.
But you cook the food yourself.
Yes.
I'm not going out to eat where I gotta cook my own damn food.
You know you have this thing called a kitchen, right? You could just go right in there and you know. I mean,
when your wife decides to do a
I don't
romantic,
have a wife.
When I'm telling you from my point of view,
but I'm saying that's
your
really
wife
nice that
decides
she
to do
did
a
take you out
romantic
though. That's
thing,
real
you roll
sweet.
with it.
But I mean, what in the self checkout hell? I mean, just. But it's not. I mean, it's about the experience and the atmosphere and stuff like that. But I'm sitting here. It made me think of when I was in college and they had a bring your own meat barbecue at the dorm. And I'm like, so I gotta bring my own meat.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, but you won't have no argument if they said bring your own bottle.
Yeah,
You're gonna do that naturally.
It's a barbecue. It's a barbecue. So why am I bringing my own meat?
I'm gonna tell
for
you
me
why.
to cook at the barbecue.
I'm gonna tell you why as a cook. I literally will tell you why as a cook because I have done your bring your own meat and I had pushback on it. You can bring your own meat, but I'm the one that's cooking it. So while you brought your steak that you like, that you marinated, you're not the one that's sitting over the charcoal and the heat and grilling it out, everything else, while you press around
and don't have the event. Don't.
Yeah,
let's not have the event that way. Let's not do that.
That's like throwing your own birthday party. Bring your own cake. Everybody bring their own cake and cookies and cupcakes. What?
I'm sorry.
I mean,
everybody did.
That's cool.
Everybody brought their
everything ain't for everybody, man.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying, that made me like I ain't going. And they were like, man, why you ain't going? Because I ain't going. I'm not going to go bring my own meat to the barbecue. Just charge me to be at the barbecue so you can get
Yeah,
the meat that you
I could
need.
go for that when you
Wait
at the
a
family
minute.
reunion.
Oh,
Yeah, I could go with that.
it's the same freaking thing.
No, it's not.
It's not
Yes,
the
it is.
same thing.
No, it's
I'm gonna
not.
charge.
I'm
Okay,
giving you the money. If
I'm
you can do it cheaper, congratulations.
Yeah,
But
like
I'm not going to go to the grocery store and go
you rather
shopping.
me charge you money than bring
yes,
Yes,
food?
yes,
yes. I'm
because like
paying for
when
an experience.
here's an example, Marlon. When you have family
What experience
reunions,
are you not? What
Marlon.
experience are you
Here's an
missing?
example, Marlon. When you have a family reunion and everybody thinks they can cook, but they really can't. The better way.
Tracy, I'm sorry. Say that one part again.
Everybody thinks they can cook, but they really can't. The better thing to do is to have everybody pay for box meals from a caterer instead of everybody bringing in this and that and the other. Nope, you know everything's in that little box. You know what's in the box. You ain't got to sit there and be like,
Okay,
family
I'm
reunion, we bringing food. Family reunion, that's the only potluck I'll do.
I'm not
catered all day, every day.
I'm not doing Boston Market family reunion. That's not happening.
I will do.
No,
Anybody have a Boston Market family? Invite me because I think that is the smartest idea.
I am.
Yes,
not going
everybody gets the same thing. Everybody. Then what if somebody forgets to bring their stuff? Oh, I forgot to bring it, and then you just say,
"Hey, it's families. It's family. You suck it up and you send somebody to the store.
Go get some ribs.
You know,
Tracy.
There's family pressure, and everybody knows what they bring." And everybody don't get to bring something anyway because everybody know which ones ain't.
Pay $15 and have a box meal and forget about it.
No, I'm Southern. I'm Southern, and the way we do things down here.
What it is. Tracy, let me explain it to you. I am not going to a family reunion and eating like a field trip.
I will do it in a minute.
A field trip.
Got your stack lunch sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
With
Smartest thing
ever.
Everybody gets the same portion size. That one family member got
everybody
to bring
ain't
16.
The same.
Everybody gets the same portion size, and you don't got that one family member that brings 16 trays, ain't brought no liquor, nothing, but got all them little take-home trays that they gonna bring. Nope.
That's family. That's what happened.
Nope. Catered meals is the smart. I don't know who thought of it, but that's genius.
And the family dynamic fixes that.
Like going to a family reunion in the hot ass weather, eating cold ass sandwiches. That
no, you don't have to have sandwiches. You can have chicken, you can have barbecue, but you don't have to make it. You can get a caterer.
You can put any food that you want to. It's cold.
Yeah, you can have.
It's cold.
My brother has a catering business. He caters family reunions.
Oh, the truth comes out. She's really
okay. So now we just get money out of family. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I just think this is dumb to say.
That's some smart marketing right there, boy.
But what if the
I'll
one
make
person
sure y'all have a
forgets
family reunion twice a year?
What if the main thing, and I'm talking rib, not a cookout, a barbecue. The main things in the barbecue are ribs, brisket, chicken.
The mac and cheese, baby.
And mac and cheese.
That mac and cheese.
Then somebody was like, I forgot the mac and cheese. Who gonna say
happen? That won't happen.
And then somebody got to bring their nasty potato salad. Oh, no. You don't have to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about that.
You know what next week's show is going to be, right?
Yes. And I'm sorry, store-bought potato salad don't hardly ever work out right.
Yes, they do. It tastes better than homemade.
I don't know who making potato salad over there. On my side, we got about 4 of them that can make some.
If it don't come from the store, I don't eat it.
I'm gonna tell you right now off the bat. If there is somebody
that's
homemade potato salad,
nope, won't eat it.
Worse than the store, Magnum.
I refuse to eat homemade potato salad. Nasty. Get it from the store. That's what they make it for. That's what they there for.
Wow, this is like
things you don't
like
get
the
from
alternate
store.
Universe.
Potato salad and slaw. Those are 2 things you don't get from the store.
Those are the 2 main things you get from the store. That and baked beans.
I'm not eating it.
Baked beans from the store?
What?
They sell them in the tub. What are y'all talking about?
I see why you have it catered now. I see why you have it catered.
Why you gotta go through all that cooking and slaving over a stove when you could just pay a caterer? Let them do all the work and you just sit and have yourself a good time.
I guess y'all rolling their money like that. Where we come from, see, all right, let me go ahead and let me put it
Somebody
like
bring
this.
some potato
Marlon,
chips.
so check this out, right? All right, so check it out. I'm Southern. My people are from Alabama and Georgia. Okay, so this is how it goes down. The matriarch of the family has already dictated what she's gonna make and what's gonna come out her kitchen. She's also designated who gets to bring the mac and cheese because that has to be approved by the matriarch. She's also decided who's making the potato salad. Same thing. That has to be approved by the matriarch. So you already know that the meat and those two sides are going to be on point.
Hire a
Now,
caterer. You are better off.
Nope.
I ain't never had no caterer give me food better than my
I don't
family
want none of
makes
your
those things.
nasty. You eat too much. You bring all them 15,000
We're not
take-home trays.
saying you
No.
have to take
Oh,
our.
you forgot one, Theus.
It sounds like something different with how y'all do things.
You forgot
man.
one, Theus. You forgot one, Theus. There's always
What's
one.
up?
You get one, at the least two. Don't you put them damn hands on that grill. We already got Uncle Rufus to do the grill.
Yeah,
Then,
with
the
grill.
then somebody
the
get
Jerusalem
extra heapings
500
of
on his feet over
everything.
there.
And
You
then
know what I'm
somebody, it's
saying?
never enough. That's my other complaint about family
With
reunions.
the
It's
slippers and the
never
high
when
heel
people.
black socks.
But when people pitch in food, somebody, some person got to take way more heapings and helpings than everybody else, and then you don't
I'm
ran
not
out
even
of
gonna
food.
lie to you, Tracy. I believe
What?
I understood that a long
That's
time
part
ago.
of the
but
joy
I
of a
guarantee
family
you,
That
reunion.
is not joy when you sitting there got little
for the
kids
last
hungry.
couple,
Be like,
hold
I
on,
don't
for
know
the
what y'all
last
gonna
couple
do.
of
Eat
years,
potato
Tracy, that
chips.
has not happened. I'm sorry.
You
I
don't make
understood.
You don't
enough.
got big people in your family. I got big people.
Man, we eat good.
I
We
have
eat
some
good
good
on
We had
family
to. We
reunion.
had to.
Mhm.
There were some times we threw some damn food away because we made way too much.
We have the opposite. People getting 6 and 7 helping. I'm like, hey, leave some for everybody else.
Man, get what you want.
Get a
Get
box.
what
You
you
got
want.
your assigned
Just
box.
understand,
Your
on your
box is
first time
assigned.
through, you got to be responsible and respectable because
Watch when I
everybody
do
here,
Christmas
and
dinner
we
at my
got,
house when I do
and
it. I'm
then
like, yep, I sure did. Because I ain't got time to be sitting there in no hot stove. No.
No, I'm not going for Christmas dinner.
You're not finding
I
Indianapolis
know, right?
nowhere.
Hey, what's up?
I couldn't do Tracy's, man. She gonna bring over some Bilo baked beans and
Yep, sure is.
I'll be like,
And
I
you
ain't
gonna
eating
eat them
that.
because you ain't gonna know the difference now.
I sure will. I'll look at him and be like, I ain't
bet
eating
you
that.
I will know the difference. Hey, what's up? Not gonna lie, I was taking a nap from 7:45 until 2 minutes ago. LOL. It's funny you all are talking about naps right now when I clicked on the show. Parker, the day that you actually show up on time on Sunday would be the day we be
He
excited.
showed up on Sunday a couple of times on time.
He did.
Twice.
Yeah.
Also, the whole bring your own meat idea, especially, isn't good for college kids. Like a lot of them may not even have a car to run by the grocery to go get. I'm not talking about college, though.
We're talking about family reunions where you got trifling family members that sit there and with their take-home trays. I'm gonna bring 15 take-home trays. Didn't bring not nothing. Like, what did you bring? Me
Brought
and
an
these
appetite and a
trays.
good time. Who brought the dominoes, the Uno cards, and the deck of cards?
That does
And
not count as no food
who
item.
bringing the music?
That is not
Who
gonna feed
bringing the
no hungry
music?
child. That is not gonna
Nah,
feed a
if
hungry child.
Live music.
Uncle Carl show up
No,
with
and
the
everybody's got to
music,
do either the wobble or the electric slide. Oh, nah.
that ain't my
No.
family reunion. That ain't my
Wow,
family.
not my
My
family
family reunion don't do that.
reunion.
It
You know what
was
I'm saying?
okay. So let me tell you what happens at my
There'll
age.
be like 2 line dances, maybe.
Let me tell you what happens at my age, Tracy, because I understand. I really do understand where you're coming from. I literally
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
But at
I was
my
one.
age, when you get as the age when you get older and older, our family has started to figure out who those people were. And either you get called out or you get uninvited. We don't play those games that you family. So no, because it is unfair. And our family right now, the kids are outnumbering the elderly and my age and everything else. So we don't play those games of you coming in here and you showed up. Hey, that's me because I showed up. Hey,
Yeah, I
that's
can
what
take
do.
home 15 trays.
I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to scroll your happy butt back into your car.
Go home.
There's a grocery store right up the street, and you need to figure out what you gonna bring.
And potato chips don't count. Can I say that too? Potato chips do not count.
No, because there's certain family members.
Children.
Man,
Potato
I'm
chips
telling
and
you,
family
it's
units for
different.
children.
It's different. Where I come from, there's a system. You know what I'm saying? There's a system.
I'm gonna tell you how
you know.
I'm gonna tell you how you know that you
I
can't
get in
cook.
theory what you're saying is everybody know who. I'm saying is what happens if that person forget. Then you're like, well, the mac and cheese not even here.
I ain't never seen nobody forget.
Okay, Tracy, let's go your route. Then guess what happens next year?
They don't get to bring it.
You don't get to come.
No, next year we gonna get it catered so everybody get their little assigned box.
First of all, you got to understand the person who's bringing the mac and cheese. We've already dictated that you going to bring it.
You can make
you
it.
actually know how to make mac and cheese.
I put eggs in mine.
Look at
You
and
put what in yours?
Hey, what?
And it's
how
a
old
mark
are
of
you?
it's a mark of honor.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna forget. You are the mac and cheese person.
Your family loves your mac and cheese.
Y'all not bragging me down on this one. Catered box meals are the smartest idea I've ever seen. I'm like, this is how it should be. Should be. You can have all that time to enjoy each other and have games and play this and do that. You ain't gotta sit there, somebody on the grill, it's 99,000 degrees, and you out there just slaving. No.
Okay, well,
that's why somebody puts up the tent so that
and that tent don't keep that heat out.
It keeps the sun off of you.
But the heat.
Or you take a t-shirt and you put the t-shirt on so that the headband go right around here and the t-shirt go right over the back.
Because I'm always stuck helping. Go get this. Go get that. I'm the go get person.
That's because you're the one they don't tell to cook.
Oh, they know they're not dumb enough to tell me to cook. I already know what I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do. I already know. You not hurt my feelings by saying I can't cook.
But
I already
you
know.
anti-picnic because you the one that don't get to make the mac and cheese.
Real quick.
Tell them to let you make the mac and
No,
cheese.
I sure do. I don't want to. I would want that responsibility.
You're the person that can cook when you are on the duties of bringing the paper plates and the spoons and napkins. And
no, they don't put me on that duty. I'm the go get person. Go get this from the store. Go get that from the store.
No, that's okay, Tracy, because I don't want to hear your mouth. You go sit down somewhere and I'll go get it. Because doggone it. This conversation right now getting on my nerve. No, you sit down.
I ain't sending Tracy to the store.
I agree with you. I'm not even disagreeing with you.
Go to the store and get us some rolls. She gonna come back with some sliced Wonder Bread. Come back at the same time.
Now I would not do that. I would at least have sense enough to come back with Hawaiian rolls. Now I'm not gonna do that. I know what I can do, and I know what I
go
can't.
get some baked beans. You go and come back with baked beans from the deli counter.
Sure would. You didn't say deli counter.
You supposed to get the 2 cans of beans, and then we gonna doctor it up over here to make it the way it's supposed to be.
She gonna come back with
catered food is the smartest way to do a family reunion, and I don't know why more families don't do it. It's so smart. I don't get it.
Because we like to eat and we like to eat good food.
You can eat good food. You can eat good food from caterers.
Okay, you go ahead and get your little box lunch and let everybody go play in the park until it's time for lunch. And then when the teacher calls you back to come eat, you go stand in line. You go get your box lunch and you get your little sippy cup and you go sit at the table with your friends because those are the only ones that you can stand. And then make sure.
I tell you this, I show up at a family reunion and there's Burger King wrappers in the trash. I'm gonna have a problem. I'm fighting somebody in the family.
I'm saying catered. You can have rib. You can have barbecue catered. You can have brisket catered. That doesn't mean you having sandwiches. I did not say that. I said catered.
Then showed up. Then showed up, and we got to sit here and eat some Popeye's chicken. Man,
who's eating nasty Popeye's chicken?
Okay.
Ain't nobody eating that nasty dry chicken.
Okay, let me explain something to you real quickly, Thea, because you don't hit a nerve. Don't your dumb ass call something a cookout and you getting your food from a fast food restaurant. That's not the same. That's a
Even I
gathering.
know that.
That's a gathering. That's not a cookout.
That Sunday dinner, meant the nasty Popeyes.
Am I the a-hole? You nasty bastards.
Tell us how you really feel, Marlon.
Sorry. Oh, you cheat. Anyway. Being glad when my daughter turns 18.
I married my wife about 2 years ago, and she has a daughter from a previous relationship. Early on in our relationship, my wife made it clear that her daughter has a father, and she's not looking for another father for her. My wife set the ground rules that I would be an adult figure, but not a parental one. I'll have no say in how she's brought up, and I can't punish her in any way. Considering she was 14 when her mom and I met, and 15 when we married, I agreed to her rules. My thinking was that she's already too old for me to make any difference in her life, so why make that an issue? Fast forward a couple of years, and my life has been a nightmare. This girl constantly gets into trouble and has been kicked out of several schools. She lived with her father during this time. She had to move in with us so that she could attend a new high school in order to graduate. She's been suspended several times at this high school, but it looks like she'll graduate on time. While living with us, she's gotten into 2 car accidents, once when she was drunk, and we had to remortgage our house to pay her attorney fees and legal bills. The judge dressed us down in court for not being better parents. I'm not a legal expert, but I do think that judges can put you in jail for arguing, so I bit my tongue and took it. It was humiliating. The girl is a couple of months away from being an adult, and this weekend I was out with the guys and she came up in conversation. I complained about how much money I've spent bailing her out of trouble and that I can't wait until she turns 18 so that she can face her own consequences. Word got back to my wife and she blew up at me. I still don't think that I said anything wrong, but I'm staying at a motel tonight. I want to be clear that we're not kicking her out, and considering that she doesn't work, she'll be living with us for a while. I'm just waiting for the day that she's an adult, so I won't be yelled at by any more judges.
I'm gonna go ahead.
We have a lot of divorce discussions. Sir,
This may be a good one.
don't move back to that house.
Don't run.
Man, you need to hook up, all right, get with one of your boys and live on their couch for, 2 pay cycles so that you can put some money together so you can get like an apartment and then stay there. And whatever happens. Either you marry and they over there and you over here, or you get divorced and they over there and you over here. Either way, they over there. You over here. Because it's a no-win situation. This child is damaged in some way, or it's just got some kind of behavior issue, and you have already been told you don't have any authority, which means the child knows you don't have any authority, so you just gonna sit there and take it. Time to go.
I'm going last, so go ahead.
I know God hates divorce, but he doesn't hate divorced people. And there's only a few circumstances where divorce is a good idea. I don't know if this is one of them, but it should be. This dude, he was doomed from the beginning. Doomed from the beginning. Like Thea said, she gonna just tell him, oh, you don't have any say. Is she living in the same house that we live in? Is she the adult or are we the adults? What do you mean he doesn't have any say? He shouldn't even marry this lady. Look, Karen, you let your daughter act any type of way, and now she out of control, and it's your fault. He need to leave them both to their own devices. Don't have no contact with them. Then give his friend thank his friends for ratting him out, because one of them obviously did. But you have to mortgage your house because she was drunk and the legal drinking age 21 or something like that. This girl's still in high. What? Are you serious, lady? Are you dude, don't you come back to her. It's other women out there. It's other women out there. When you date somebody with a child and she tells you you can't say anything, don't you be with that person. Go. Just turn around and just find you somebody else because it ain't worth it. It's just not.
There are plenty more fish in the sea. Move on.
Dude, Tracy said it already. I'm going to just repeat it. This crap was doomed from the beginning. This was doomed from the beginning. Because you basically know there is nobody that's going to come to me and go, my daughter is going to stay here and she already got a father. So you could be a adult figure, but you can't be a father figure, which means you can't say jack to her. Well, guess what, lady? She ain't coming in here.
And neither are you, Bob.
And we ain't finna get married unless this rule and regulation change. And if you even try to push back on it, we done. Because you saw what the outcome is. And here is the outcome. Yeah, you have no authority to punish this girl for absolutely nothing. You do, however, have the authority to bail her out of every circumstances that she get herself out of. Now, once I say that, do you feel kind of stupid?
That to her it makes sense.
Because it is stupid.
Yeah.
To her it makes sense. You can't say jack to her, but you can pay for it. Every little thing that you couldn't say.
I wouldn't have paid nothing. I'd be like, you better mortgage your half because I ain't mortgaging.
That was one that killed me. We had to mortgage your house. No, the hell we didn't. I'm not mortgaging that squat.
You said
I had no authority. My authority cuts at mortgaging my damn house too.
So do I'm like,
I don't know.
Nope,
I don't know. That's the one part. That's the one part. That's the one part. I mean, it's still a child. Child made dumb decisions. Child wasn't raised properly. But
not my problem.
But she literally said you don't have any authority.
I don't have any authority in her life.
Now he's got to mortgage the house for what?
No. I get it, Theus. I get what you're saying, but it's not my problem. You just flat out told me I have no authority. That authority goes all the way across the whole spectrum. That's not my job.
He doesn't have the responsibility.
Literally told me I don't have a job. So my job is cut at I show up at home and I go to work.
Yep, because he doesn't have the responsibility.
You're not going to dictate which part of the job is the family thing. Where the hell is the dad at? You said she had a dad.
But she was living with him though. She had moved back with them because she got kicked out of so many high schools that the one that she could get into, she had to live in their district.
Nah, bro. Here's the deal. I'm not going to get into a relationship where at the end I'm coming out as a minus. You're not adding nothing. You're adding nothing of that. I'm with everybody on this panel. Dude, you need to go because there is no added value. When you get a relationship, there's always an added value to the relationship. You add a value, they add a value. At this point, none of these people are adding a value to your life. You are in a deficit. You mortgage your house. You are in a deficit by being in this relationship.
And here's the other thing I want to say. When she told him, oh, well, she doesn't need a father, then why was the mother expecting him to rescue her from all these situations? He didn't have no responsibility. Well, first of all, he should have never got with this Karen in the first place. But he was relieved from emotional support. She relieved him from financial support. He had the support. I mean, according to her, she said he didn't need a father. She didn't need. He's an adult figure. Okay.
I don't even know what the hell. That means.
But okay.
You can be an adult figure.
You can be an adult.
You can show up. She can see you as an adult.
She can go to you when she needs money, but I can't say nothing. Nah.
Nah. If you literally can't see, and I feel, and funny thing about it is, I really feel sorry for this child because you are seriously getting a disservice. You're not even 18 years old, and your ass about to go to damn jail for drinking and driving. You are truly having a disservice done in your life. and your mother, and again, the damn father, who the only time I even heard about the damn father was she already has a father. I ain't hear the father was in the court. I ain't hear the father mortgaged his house. I ain't heard jack squat about the father other than she has a father in her life. Well,
She lived with the father and she was nutting up over there and kept getting kicked out of school.
Yeah, so she had to live with the parents so that she could go to the one high
oh,
school that she could go to. And
hey,
somehow she
wife,
So the child
graduated
has
on
some kind of
time.
issues that need to be addressed.
hey, wife,
But
let's redo this contract. Remember, she had a father, and the father don't even want to deal with. So we need to redo this contract that you said that I'd have no fatherly role in her life. If she gonna be here, I'm gonna have a fatherly role in her life.
As well as you should. I don't even know what made her come up with that kind of condition. If you have a child and you marry, if I marry a man and he's got a child, well, duh. Even if the mother is alive and she's in the child's life, hello, I'm going to be some type of motherly figure to that child, even though I'm not that child's. People, when you have children, be careful who you date, because everybody ain't it. Everybody ain't it, and everybody ain't ready. This dude, well, it was his fault, first of all, because he said, well, I figured she was 14. I wouldn't have that long to deal with it. Dude, is she going to be there?
Stupidest statement I've ever.
What?
She's
she
14
gonna
to
be
go
there
out of
till she's
school.
27 years old.
No, she going to be there until something bad happens and she ends up either in jail. Well, hopefully she'll just end up in prison. Because the path that she's heading down, she going to be there a long time well after she's 18. And then she's going to be like, you can't tell me nothing because I'm 18.
I got 30-year-old that I'm still the parents of. So that logic is stupid. And you may be young and inexperienced on this, but I'm letting you know right now. All of my kids are grown. All of my kids are out. Some of them have grandkids and everything. I'm still a freaking parent. I'm still giving the advice. I'm still doing all the fatherly things. I'm still always in their corner. You are a parent until you gone, basically.
Yeah,
It is what it is. And if you can't handle that, what was the statement? Honor your bloodline.
But he didn't sleep with this one. I mean, he didn't have a child with her.
Thank God. Good Lord. Real or nah? Okay, let's jump into it because it's still Sunday. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I dated a therapist.
Last September, my ex-wife and I filed for divorce. We were separated. One of my best friends said that I should try dating. She's never led me astray before, so I said, screw it, why not? The first girl I matched with on Hinge seems nice. We talked for a few days since I'm on a business trip and we plan to go out when I get back. She's a therapist who works with neurodivergent kids. We chat a bit and all is good. We go on our first date after work on a Tuesday. I pick her up at her place and go to my favorite pizza joint in her area. It starts a bit awkward, as first dates do. She then tells me, I can't wait to tell you that I'm pregnant. Okay, weird. Maybe it's the nerves. It's important to understand that we've had no booze at this point. I think she's just nervous. A few minutes later, she's telling me about her parents who live near the Wisconsin/Minnesota border. For context, we're in Chicago. Then her parents just show up and sit down with us. So I'm against the wall of the booth with her dad sitting next to me. She's across from me. Her mom is next to her. Okay, I guess I'm paying for their meal too. Double date. Great. Her mom and dad tell me they've heard a lot about me, but how could they know anything about me? They talk about what it's like working for a vocational school. So I start freaking out as I've only said that I'm a school administrator, nothing more. I say the job is great, but I'm looking to go back to the middle school or elementary school next year. Her dad says that she can't wait to have a son-in-law like me. The mom says that she can't wait to have me marry into the family. awkward. They were drinking, so I gave them a pass. The awkward evening continues. We start leaving, and I pick this girl up, so I've also got to drop her off. My grandma raised a gentleman, you know? I figured I'd do that and dip. Nope. We get back, and the parents park next to me. They all invite me up. My mom said that she baked a great pumpkin pie earlier today. Well, shoot, I love me some pumpkin pie. I decide, screw it, might as well get something out of this night. I had some pie. Truthfully, it was some of the best pumpkin pie I've ever had.
Why do you keep bringing us these lies?
Dumbass
Stop
story.
bringing us these lies. This is just a lie. 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 Lie.
Tell us how you really feel, Tracy.
So you're telling me that it's a lie?
The parents showed up. Are you for real? I figured I'd go from some pie. What the? And why would you pick up a date at their place? You don't even know. No, we meet at a public place the first couple of dates. And then maybe you can see where I live. But if you ain't coming, no.
Well, second part, I dated a therapist. Keep in mind, people, this woman is a therapist.
I tried to leave, and they weren't really letting me leave by giving me more pie or starting a new conversation topic. My best friend, the one who told me to start dating, calls me. I ask what's up. I took the call in the bathroom, and she comes up with this plan that I'm gonna go pick up my friend Eddie with a flat tire. Great, I have an out. My date says that she needs to walk her dog. Fine. Come with me and walk me down to my car. Her mom comes too. Her mom says it's nice to meet me, and then she says, I'm so glad that my daughter found you. I didn't think that she'd be able to settle down since we've had her committed 3 times, and then just walks away. What? I'm panicking now, sweating a bit. I turn to get in my car, and the chick is right there. She hugs me, tries to kiss me. She tells me, I love you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Great. Gotta go. You know, my friend needs help and all. I get in the car and I can see this chick in my rearview mirror and she's calling me. I pick up and she said, You didn't say that you love me. My best friend calls. Oops, hang on, important call, and I pick up. I tell my friend about this and she's laughing her butt off. I am horrified at this point, thinking that the headlights in my rearview mirror are her, so I start speeding for the highway. Because I'm speeding, I get pulled over. The cop asks me why I'm speeding, and I tell him everything. It takes a good 5 to 6 minutes to get him to understand. He notices that I have Wisconsin plates, and all he says is, Bro, never put your dick in crazy. Thanks, bro chacho. The cop feels sorry for me and escorts me to the highway. Great, freedom. The chick texts me. I try to ghost her, but I left out one important detail. I went to the date on a school night, wearing spirit wear with my school logo. Once you know the name of my school, it's hard not to find the school because it's the only type of school like this in the country. I go to my boss the next day and I tell him the situation. He says that I'm an effing idiot for wearing my work shirt. He laughs his butt off about the whole situation and asks if I blocked her. Oh, that's a good idea. So I do it, and he tells me again that I'm an effing idiot for not thinking this through. Turns out, she figured out where I worked. She starts calling my desk, asking when we're going out again. She leaves a message saying that she wants to be engaged by the time that she's 30, which, by the way, is literally next month for her. At this point, I'm freaking out. There's a security guard in the building, so I tell him what happened and I gave him her name. He told me that he'd take care of it if she came by, but also he told me to move my car to the back. This chick shows up at my school asking to see me. Security tells her that I don't work here. She gets snotty with the security guard and gets escorted out. She calls my desk phone, pleading with me to give her a chance. Then she finds my sister and my best friend through Facebook. She tells them that she's my soulmate and I tell them to block her. This chick was crazy. I got her to calm the F out when I told her that I'm going to report her for harassment to her licensing board.
She's not a therapist.
She's a
She's not a therapist. No.
Lies.
There's just a lot. Marley just brings these lies to it. Lies on top of lies. Is this Fatal Attraction, or is this just something that Marlon just said? I'm gonna just get this off Fatal Attraction.
I dated a girl who was similar to this. Not this far out there, but she was out there. Strange things happen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still trying to get over the fact that I did have one of them try to crawl through the passenger window of my car as I was driving away. So,
what do y'all be doing to the women y'all date?
Why it gotta be our fault?
Y'all both said,
Tracy,
why it gotta be our fault?
You literally went to the woman is trying to crawl through the window, trying to get my keys to turn the car off, and it's my fault.
I didn't say it was your fault. All I asked was what you was doing to these women. I didn't say it was your fault. Did you hear me say it was your fault?
Treated somebody decently who probably ain't been treated decent before, and they got some mental issues and emotional imbalances and attachment problems, and there you go.
I was about to go to the birds and the bees, but I don't think this is that type of show. So that may have something.
I ain't gonna tell my story because I don't want it floating around out there. But basically, I had three over my dating world or time. I dated three girls who were allegedly suicidal. Only thing one of them was serious. But it was after that third one I was like, something wrong with me.
Yeah, because you kept attracting them women.
Okay.
And so I had to stop. I had to stop and look at myself and say, okay, what is it in my selection criteria? What is it about my behavior pattern? Huh?
What's in your DNA that's attracting suicidal women?
No, it's not about my DNA. It's about that I had a complex that was like I was Mr. Fix-It. You know what I'm saying? So what would happen is I would basically find women who otherwise were okay, but there was something broken about them, and then I would try to be Mr. Fix-It. So that was a problem with me, right? Because these people are out there, but that's why I get so frustrated with people when they don't take accountability for themselves. Like, just take a second and see what is your role in the situation you find yourself in.
She said she had to be engaged by the time she was 30, and it was in a few weeks. Oh, she ain't a therapist. There ain't no way. No, I don't believe it. No.
All right, let me tell my story. I can tell my story because it's been years that it happened. So if the person is listening in, so be it, because you did do it. I used to work for a furniture store as a collector.
Was it the red house?
I just was like,
okay. Well, Big Head pushed the furniture in. I was the one that pushed the furniture back out.
He went to people's houses.
And I pulled the pizza back out. So, I was dating this woman for a few moments. It was a while. It was some months into it. And I was going way on the outskirts to collect money from a lady who has this tendency to move from house to house. But she would take the furniture with her, but I was still able to find her because back then they wasn't bright.
This sounds like Aaron, Sprinter Center.
Showed you.
Either way. So the point is I did find her. I go out to get the furniture. Well, not the furniture. I went out to get the payment. I talked to the lady long enough to figure out, hey, I'm going to pay blah, 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 everything else. Cool. No problem. We're cool. I go out there and I come back down the street. And there's the girlfriend at the corner looking at this raggedy ass house. And Tracy and Anna. When I tell you, windows busted out, the grass is up to your knees, all this. I'm looking like, oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Why are you here? Oh, I was just looking at this house because I was thinking of moving back to Charlotte. So I was just looking at houses, and I'm like,
This one?
yeah, this ain't one of them. You need to. Long story short, he found a way to get into my phone. She found a way to see the text messages and the phone numbers. She got to the area before I did. She also went and talked to the customer to find out what was going on. And when the customer said the same thing that I said, all was well and good. So that is my crazy girlfriend moment. Now, here's the funny thing about it. I know exactly what happened to her. She's sitting over there in the chair right now looking at me.
You just told a crazy girlfriend story and said it was your wife.
And said it was your
Man,
wife.
Yep.
You brave. That's all I got for you.
man, I would have told that
Oh,
story.
my bad.
I would have told
got
that story.
the final part of the story. Sorry, which is the main reason why I'm telling this story. Doggone it, how could I forget? The customer called the store got a complaint, and the store fired me because of it. Why
Okay,
would I
dude,
tell this story? Because I
you
ain't
just
never
told
ever
on your
forget
wife.
this story. You out of here ever
You
loving
married
life.
your stalker?
Huh?
You basically just told her I married my stalker.
Yeah,
Story.
No, he married his highly attentive girlfriend.
Stalker. Sorry, Foxy, but that's some stalkery
that's
behavior.
stalking.
That is
was
literally
stalking.
stalking. Getting into somebody's. If I got to get into some man's phone, I don't need to be with him. I don't need to be with him. Bye. I find me somebody else. I'm cool.
How you doing over there?
19 years. That's all I got to say. 19 years, boo. You still strong.
You brave, Marlon. I'm giving you credit. You are very brave.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It literally has been 19 years. Like if there was an issue, it would have came up by now. Oh, we still have issues, but not enough with. We didn't have red flags back then, but that would have been a red flag.
You always had red flags, dog.
You sure do. Even if you're a single person, you got red flags.
But once you put that ring on that finger, dog, you had to let that story die. You just
You
tuck
should.
that one away.
You don't have to.
Tuck it away.
Remember, you
Not
don't
a
have to
chance.
tell us everything.
No.
You know, you could have kept that story between you and Foxy. We didn't have to know all that.
It don't bother me though. It don't bother me. He can bring it up until what?
Right, because she still got him.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Years, boo.
I guess Marlon was the
And don't you
prize.
forget it. I'm still a stalker.
I heard that.
That's not a red flag. That's a red house.
I did when you said North Carolina first. I was like, if he says the Red House,
Tracy, trust me, I would have remembered working with somebody named Bullet. I'm about to say Bullet Head.
10 gauge.
No, you didn't work. You didn't work with them. They had to be hired because you got fired.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And then he had to move. He was Richard Big. He had to move furniture to people's houses.
And I was the one that pulled them back out.
No, but you wasn't there because you got fired.
I got fired. Yeah, okay.
Then that's when they hired Big Head and 10 gauge. And then they did that commercial.
And the Black Andre the Giant, apparently.
And then the guy jumped on the couch and said, we sell furniture, so we sell beds to white people and black people.
Yeah, you had to really think that one, bro. You really had to rethink that one. Do we really have to sell to black people a bed? They can have a couch. They used the couches. They used the stupid old couches.
He forgot his lines. That's all.
How you forget and black people? It's 3 words.
They were reading off cue cards. How you go? I mean, it wasn't like they just sat there and wrote a script out for that. Like, you say this and then I'll say this. It was
okay. I'm gonna say something that's a little controversial, but I couldn't help myself since you actually wanted me to show that video. That one black chick.
I'm African American and I like the red house.
I'm sorry. Every time I saw her video, I kept looking. You look like you always pregnant.
What?
You
What?
really do.
What?
You look like you
What
are.
the?
What are you talking about?
You look like somebody who's constantly pregnant.
Constantly pregnant? That's impossible.
Constantly.
That's a terrible statement.
I'm
Marlon,
sorry.
that's
you
not
did.
even that's
Who
not even
did
physically
that?
possible.
You
Because if
did. I'm sorry.
Pregnancy is not a look. Unless
She looked
I
like
mean constantly what
she looked like she was pregnant then. And she looked like she just told the kids to go run
okay,
around and play
Anna
while
and Tia, are y'all confused
confused?
like I am? Because I'm sitting here like, how does somebody look pregnant
I
constantly?
I've entered another dimension. I don't know what's
Marlon,
going
now you
Oh
say
my
on.
I say
gosh.
some dumb things. You done went way beyond what I done
I
Oh
have
done.
literally
man.
never said you said some dumb things.
You
Not
said
What?
I've said
once.
He
some
just had a
strange
Trump
things.
moment.
You sure did. I'm like, huh? What?
Um,
Constantly
You
pregnant?
look like she looked like she's never
Because
not been pregnant.
let's just assume this little theory of yours is true. 9 months pregnancy, 3 months off. Then she. How does somebody
Yeah.
constantly?
Oh, now okay. First of all, yeah, I've seen that happen. So yeah,
yeah.
not that. No, you're not Tracy. Yeah,
Because you're
I
supposed to have
I
6
have
weeks
known.
off when
I
you have
literally known a
the
family
baby.
whose every child is literally less than 1 year away from each other.
My cousin had a Muslim family that lived in North.
You suppose okay? So doctors
Yeah,
say you need a 6-week break after you have your baby.
she looked
So
like she's
okay,
already pregnant.
just put that in there, and then you.
Everybody else had a T-shirt on. She the only one that had a coat on.
That's not a thing.
Maybe she was cold. I don't know.
She was covering that bump.
How do you? I can't even believe you said that.
Yeah, please don't say it.
It's because he tired. That's what it is.
Wow.
That's what it is.
He tired.
Foxy's videos of the week. Wait, say that a little louder, Foxy.
Constantly pregnant.
Foxy won't admit that she was a crazy girlfriend.
You look crazy.
Statute of limitations done ran. She done been with you for 20 years. The statute
Yeah,
been
I
ran.
mean, she stayed with you for 20 years. I mean,
That's like my crazy wife upstairs.
See, y'all
20 years. I mean, you get less time for a body, man.
I'm still trying to get over constantly pregnant. I'm
You gotta
sorry.
let them go. Past is the past.
Liberals with guns.
Yeah, no shit. Liberals own quite a few firearms. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe this whole misconception about liberals owning firearms comes from the fact that we actually treat firearms like dangerous objects and not toys, and because we don't make firearms our entire fucking personality?
And the deal is, you're not making it your effing personality. It's part of your personality. Like you're taking pictures with a gun, like you're taking pictures like you holding a baby. You have Christmas cards of the whole family holding guns. That's your identity. That's what that's called at that point. Of you being that guns is your identity. Like you literally have to tell people, which was the stupidest thing that I ever heard, because my deal is we never even told people that we had guns. Like it was concealed weapon for a reason. But nope, not you. You got to make sure that everybody knows you have a gun, and everybody knows you have the newest guns, and everybody got to know you have the biggest guns, and everybody got to know you have the gun with the most bullets in it, and everybody got to know that you Billy Badass and you have no problem with your guns. No inanimate object, and we're talking about guns now, but let's just stretch it out a little bit. No inanimate object should be your identity, i.e., your money, i.e., your house, i.e., your car, i.e., your wife or husband.
Your wife is an inanimate object, dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said no.
No, you know exactly what I mean when your
We don't know. We just heard what you said.
My husband's a doctor. My wife's a lawyer.
What is it?
Your employment is the employment of your spouse is an inanimate object, not the spouse itself. I know he gets it. He trying to be he trying to mess with me knowing that I'm tired, and he's messing with me. But you get what I'm saying is inanimate objects should not be a part of your personality to dictate to you why you are bigger and better than somebody else. No, that's it. And while Thiz is on his phone playing Pac-Man, can you actually say something so we can move on? So I can.
No, I don't have nothing.
Nobody has nothing on this?
No.
I don't feel that comfortable contributing to a conversation where I have not researched, I have not handled a gun.
Yeah, I'm with Anna. I don't own a gun. I don't
I mean,
ever own a gun. So
I think people overblow the gun thing, right? Because I think people approach it from so many different angles. Like for a lot of white people, it's a cultural thing. So they got guns. You know, some about them like to kill people. I don't know. Shit, they like to kill, not kill people. They like to kill shit. They like to kill things, right? Hunting and all that stuff. They take a lot of pride in hunting. Okay?
a lot of pride.
So they have a cultural affinity to certain things.
Taxidermy is a real big business.
Yeah, I know. It's money, but I don't get it.
I don't understand the cult. I have nothing to
Yeah,
say
so
about this.
it's cool. And then I'm on the other side with, like, when it comes to black people, I try to tell folks we should all be armed. Every last one of us should be armed. That don't mean you walk around the street with it. That means you should have the ability to protect yourself within your home. You need to have it because that's just the reality of the world we live in. And it's not even because of the racial strife. It's just a simple fact that the world we live in right now, a lot of people don't have. And when people don't have, they go get. So you don't know. It could be somebody who looks like you who come up in your house. It could be somebody who doesn't look like you that comes up in your house. So that's why I say that, you know, every black person should be armed. And I understand why a lot of white people are armed. And the part that I get separated on is, like, I don't think people really think through what a firearm is. Like, they think it's some kind of magical force field. And it simply is not. If it ever gets to the point where you have to use your weapon, you've already lost. Because now you think about it, now you got to go to court, right? First of all, you gotta survive the interaction with the police when they show up. Then, assuming you survive that, right? Now you got to deal with the court system. That's money, that's time. Plus, if you black, you don't know what you're getting out of that either. Now you might end up going to jail because it's hard to have a lawful shoot. So now you in jail. All this came from because you decided to have a gun, right? Now the alternative they will say is someone could have came in my house, I had no weapon, and then they did whatever they did. But what are the you run the numbers, people aren't really doing home invasions like that. It's going to start happening more. But anyway, gun ain't a force field. It's not going to stop something from happening. So I think people are approaching guns the wrong way. I don't think they're being responsible about the way they're doing it. And if you do have a weapon, make sure you get training. Make sure, you spend time at the range. Make sure you keep it clean and oiled. Like all these little things. But whatever.
What are the little rules that people keep forgetting? And it's a rule. It's a rule of discipline. Don't point your gun at something you're not willing to kill. So this whole pointing your gun at somebody as a threat, no, that's not weapon discipline. Now I may be saying that word wrong, but it's a discipline.
No, you're right.
Oh,
you don't pull it to threaten somebody.
Yeah.
If you pull it, you're pulling the trigger.
Yeah, you're pulling the trigger. You're not pulling it to as a threat. A gun is not a threat.
Which is part of our problem with law enforcement.
Yeah, do not be willing to when you pull your gun, you're pulling it to kill. That's what it is. The threat, as I understand it, is you releasing the weapon from your holster, i.e. the clip that holds your weapon in the holster and your hand on the weapon. That's the threat.
The moment you put your hands on that weapon, you already escalated the situation, and odds are you're on your way to jail. Yeah. So it's like there's so much that goes with it. So much that goes with it. That's why people who are serious about concealed carry, they understand that they need to learn hand to hand. They need to learn basic self-defense. They need to know how to de-escalate. Basically, you have to be more responsible than the police are, right? Because part of having the ability to kill means that you have a greater duty to avoid conflict. So you don't carry it hoping to use it. You carry it hoping to never have to use it, but you're prepared to if you have to. But people don't look at it that way. People are actually getting weapons because they're scared. And that's a horrible thing. A scared person with a gun is a horrible, horrible situation.
Yep. All right.
Go get a knife or a baseball bat.
We're going to move on. And I don't know if Mickey is still on here. We may have, put her to sleep with that big long ass story that I put on. But again, I'm still looking into that story. Theas, do you feel like, as I have you on right now, do you feel like revisiting that story about the one relationship affecting another relationship, or would you rather just move on from it?
Oh, hey man, I don't care. Is there a holiday coming up?
July 4th.
4th of July.
Oh yeah, my wife's birthday is July 7th.
Yay!
Sorry, I ain't got the clap.
No, I'm celebrating everybody's birthday. You lived another year in this country.
And my ex-wife's birthday is July 6th. Because I know how to pick them.
Oh, you know what? I have to make sure that I'm keeping up with this stuff because Parker said, I'm still here.
Yeah,
there's a big thunderstorm going on right now.
Yeah, we had it real bad earlier today. Real bad.
Be careful, please.
Stories don't interest me. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a tornado touchdown in Indiana.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Mickey. Really? Did he get 6? It got 6 points? That's what's up.
What?
But
He's here all night, everybody. He's here all night.
Remember to tip your waitress. I'm sorry. Remember to tip your server. Even though no, that sounds any better to me, but whatever.
Not really. But anyway, Mickey did say that she's here, so here's a little Mickey joke. I haven't had a Mickey joke in a long time. And Fortunately for everybody who don't get it the first time, they explain it to you.
If two people having sex, that's a twosome. Three people having sex, that's a threesome. So believe me when I tell you, I'm handsome.
Huh? Was that the joke or you was just talking? I'm so sorry. I didn't.
It's so clever, BT.
That's the
I
one.
didn't hear it.
Two people having sex is a twosome.
Handsome, he by himself.
Three people having sex is a threesome. Believe me when I tell you, I'm handsome.
It's a masturbation.
Oh.
Yeah,
She needed the visual.
You find that
Yeah.
funny? Find that funny?
It was clever.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Joke. I ain't telling that joke to my kids. And I ain't never heard of nothing called a twosome.
Yeah, that twosome sort of threw me for a while.
He was.
But I know it's part of the setup.
No? God, rough crowd.
I'm just like, okay, another sex joke. Ha, 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 ha.
Every man grows up learning how to be handy.
You know what? Go to the next. Marlon, can you please? I know this is your show, but please.
See, men and women, they learn differently. We're hands-on learners.
Tracy, I'm sorry, because I know you hate if somebody laugh at a joke like that, it's just encouraging them, but that was funny. Oh God, from the immortal words of Anna, I'm trying. I'm trying so hard.
Yeah, what did I say?
Oh God, that was funny.
I just said another. Wait a minute, I gotta review what I said. I literally don't even remember.
I'll try harder, Tracy. I'm sorry. Oh,
This is yours. This is.
Parker said that's a onesome. Got a point there. Sound like he had this kind of sex that I do.
The same kind. Again,
You know, if you have a partner, you use a rubber. But if you don't have a partner, you just rubber.
We all tired. This is what you're gonna get. All these shows are not gonna be home runs and all this other stuff that y'all used to. And I appreciate that y'all think these shows are all gonna be home runs, but oh God.
You see, Urkel went to Office Max,
you know
but
what?
Laura went to the local magic shop. Both of them walked out with pocket protectors.
And I'm over it now because I didn't get that last one.
Okay, so a pocket protector for
gonna
Urkel
repeat it.
is a pen and pencils that go in your shirt pocket, but a pocket protector for Laura would come from the sex store. Pocket never mind. You guys, tough.
You was on a roll to that last
one.
I gotta find a sound effect for that last one. That last one.
Blah 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 blah.
2 out of 3, not bad. Had me in
I
tears.
would say none out of 3, but hey, that's just me.
No, those first 2 was killing me.
I'm like, okay.
All right, last video of the night. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Men have always run things, and there have never been any problems whatsoever. And don't say the economy or Iraq or income inequality or racism or Brett Kavanaugh or air pollution or Vietnam or slavery or Watergate or capitalism or Me Too or homelessness or police brutality or homophobia or Monica Lewinsky or school shootings or Native American genocide or Fox News or Tim Allen or climate change.
Funny
Glitched in
and
the
true.
very beginning, so I missed what he said. Is it something about men don't make any mistakes or something?
Men been running this country or this world for a lot of years, and we've never made a mistake.
Yeah, it says
Gotcha.
every war ever.
Not every war. Women. What was that woman that with the whole thing with Achilles?
With the what?
You mean Greek mythology? I'm talking about things that actually happened.
But if you really stop and think about it, see, this is the thing. This is the thing, though. See, this is why I get so annoyed when people try to pretend like women are the fairer sex. No, 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 no. Women are just as devious, if not worse, than men. Do you know that during the time of slavery, they had to create a law to protect white women from being held accountable for murdering slaves under their control, because they would beat black children and black women to the point they died. So they created a law to make it so that the white woman could not be held accountable for killing a slave if the death occurred as a course of correction. Okay? That was for white women. And then every time you saw somebody throughout history that did some horrible, horrible stuff, more often than not, he did it to impress this woman who's sitting next to him.
Says World War
So we gotta
and
stop
II,
pretending.
and Indian and Civil and World War One, woman didn't cause it. World War II, woman didn't cause it. Korean War, Afghanistan. How many wars am I gonna have to name?
You can name all you want to.
A man, woman never caused no war.
Finding a few examples does not absolve an entire
A woman
agenda.
has never caused a world.
Okay, so
Ooh, that's not a good statement. Not a good statement.
Not a good statement.
Oh, so now
Women
we got
push their
Anna
men
going
to
on
do
the
all
inside.
kinds of
Okay,
things.
fine.
Women push their men to do all types of stuff.
And you are a grown person who can make your own decisions. Since y'all the
So
leaders
see, that's
of
how
everything.
you do it. See, you are so feminist that you will lay the blame on a man and absolve a woman every single
I don't
time
absolve
if you
women
can get away with it.
I do
If you
not
can get away
absolve
with it,
women
you
every
try it.
single
And that's
time.
why I'm pulling your card on it, because you sit here saying that the women are free and clear, and they're not. You just because you can find many times where the man was worse, because arguably men do horrible
I can literally
things.
say one name and blast your whole argument, and it happened recently, like as is this year. Emmett Tillman.
That didn't cause a war. That was just a line.
No, that just caused. Oh, I'm sorry. That just caused a
Just
death.
a what? That was just a what?
That did not cause a war. I'm talking about a world war, not some woman
Oh,
lying
so
on
we
a black
limited the
youth.
world wars.
Oh, okay.
There ain't but two of them to choose from.
There's more than that. There's Afghanistan.
Yeah, you
like
ain't got but two world wars.
No, there's Afghanistan. There's Korea.
That's not a world
there's
war. Those aren't world
no,
wars.
but I'm using that as an example. I'm talking about the major wars. Women have never caused a
What
major
makes a
war.
war major and not major?
The titles, I don't know.
The one and the two.
Hillary Clinton had her hands all over Libya.
Yeah, that's
But
a
she
lot.
did. I agree
And there
with
are stories all throughout history of whether the woman has been the chess player, if you will,
and they're letting themselves be played.
or been the warrior queen.
See, there you go.
Boadicea? Anybody?
So that's very duplicitous, but it's cool. I'm not saying it's 1-to-1. You go through history, and the score is not close. Okay?
No, it's not.
The score is not close.
And here's the deal,
But
Tracy, because
it
I
ain't
know what
like
you're
you ain't
trying to
got no
do
points
is,
on the board.
what you're trying
Yeah.
to say is when these world wars or deaths or destruction is happening, the man had the decision of deciding if he was going to do it,
Women have
regardless.
not been
Hold on,
empowered to
Tracy.
make
Hold
those
on, Tracy.
decisions.
You're saying the man had the decision to do all this stuff, regardless of what the
I'm talking
woman
about,
did.
and then how many deaths took place around the world at the behest of the behest of England? And Shorty was in charge for quite some time. I know they have
Everybody knows.
a split
Yeah, I'm
monarchy,
like, nah.
but I'm saying you can't sit there and then you go back. Who was it? Catherine the Great. You can find some stuff that she done did to it, and then you
boy.
so
caused the war.
Men
huh?
have caused.
Helena Troy caused the war. I know it says
That's what
we.
I was talking about, Helena of Troy, because she was playing each side against each other, and then next thing you know, here you go. So just because it's a mastermind, that'd be like saying you got to let Trump off on everything because he's a mastermind. He didn't do a lot of the stuff. He had other people do it. They didn't have to listen to him.
They didn't have to take the money. But let's go to
So
a
my
different.
contention is not that men are not horrible because we really are over history,
Please take
and
my word
and
for it. I'm literally
and
my
white men have
argument
been the
literally
worst
is
of
trying
them,
to make
but
this equal.
men are pretty bad because we're driven by testosterone and ego, and dumb stuff follows.
Don't get it wrong, Tracy. I'm trying to make it seem it's an equal thing.
It's
But
not.
don't get it twisted that I do not think that men just have this
Yeah, I'm not saying women can't be
desire
devious. Duh.
in their life to
But you
conquer.
did say they haven't been.
Right.
I said in general, or I
You
should have
didn't
said
say in
general.
general. Okay. Yeah, because if you add it all up, like I said, the score ain't close.
But for the most part, at least within my lifetime, nah. I'm like, nope. Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. I'm like, who was calling them? And I
These
know
are all
one of
oppressive
those
states,
two
but yeah.
or two of those women were secretaries of state, but only Congress decided. Well, never mind that. I don't want to go into with the president. What he did, I don't want to do that.
You had women in Congress to sign the authorization.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. That's just fact.
Did you see where the Supreme Court just decided that the U.S. does not own indigenous waters?
You mean
the U.S. what?
Did you see that the Supreme Court just decided that the U.S. does not own the indigenous waters?
Indigenous waters.
Yeah, how do you
Because who owns the what? Okay, Mickey, you're gonna have to explain. I'm not following.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know something now. The next couple of weeks from the Supreme Court is going to be hectic, and I was trying to wait until all the rulings came out.
We're about to get worked over. That's all we didn't know.
We're not. So far, if what I'm reading from this, that they do not own the indigenous waters, which means that the indigenous people own the water rights to the waters on protected land, which I'm, like I said, I'm stepping out on it. If the indigenous people are in control of the indigenous waters on their land, the United States can't come in and all of a sudden go, we need more water. So
No, this is all about drilling rights and stuff like that. But it's still going to be a situation where,
if that's the case,
if
Tracy,
America wants it bad enough, they'll go get
They'll
it.
get it.
Oh yeah.
But we're
they will break any treaty.
I was watching a special about it's a town in Colorado that was owned by the indigenous people. So basically,
Mall, and that's what I mean. That the United States cannot go onto indigenous land that's protected by indigenous
They're not
law.
supposed to,
and all
but
of a
we're
sudden
saying
decide
watch
that
them
that
do it.
water belongs to us now.
They're going to figure out a
Well,
way.
check this out. Check this out. This is what happened in the 1900s. Okay, so this is an ancient history. Okay, so the Native American tribe was forced onto these lands, these desolate lands in Colorado, right? Okay. And just like they've done with many Native indigenous American tribes, you know, They always break treaties whenever they find, oh wait, there's precious minerals there. See, I thought this land was no good, but you got some stuff. So what they did is they found there were some minerals, lead, zinc, and something else. And then they went and they were like, well, we want to drill here. Sell me your land, or at least lease it to me so we can do this thing. And most of the tribal people were like, I'm not doing that. No, we protect the land. We don't do that. So then the corporations went to Congress and they lobbied to get legislation passed that would allow them to then turn around and declare that the indigenous people were not mentally competent, because you must be incompetent to manage your own financial affairs to not see that this is in your economic interest. So they were able to go ahead and declare the people insane or mentally incompetent so that they could then get rights to their land despite them saying no. Then they did all the mining under the ground and they pulled all the stuff they could pull out of it. And because they couldn't figure out what to do with the stuff, they just took all the they call it chaff, and they just piled it up all over the place, pile it up to the point that the people there, now at this point, they had leased a lot of the land by making the people, incompetent. They leased the land to a bunch of white folks and also the indigenous people, right? Because the miners were there and stuff. They had so much chaff that they were using it to line playgrounds. They were using it to line driveways. They were using it for all kinds of stuff, okay? Come to find out, the chaff is lead and zinc. Poisonous. They were killing off the whole town to the point now the U.S. government, first the FDA was like, yo, no, everything's cool. Yeah, I see that people got little burns or whatnot, but that's from the sunburn or whatever. They were getting chemical burns because it was in the swimming pool. They used to go to the beach. It was a man-made beach, but it was toxic, but nobody knew it. So they were swimming in it. Yeah. And the FDA was like, yo, okay, well, this is bad. So what we're gonna do is, it took a lot of pushing. They're like, well, we'll buy out some. Well, let's buy out some of the land. I can't remember the dude's name, but he was in Congress for a very, 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 very long time. He blocked all the legislation to allow them to buy the land and properties back from these people who were being poisoned. Now that town is completely desolate. It's completely abandoned. They got sinkholes everywhere because the mines are caving in and just sucking things into the ground. And it's just bizarre. And it's not unique. This stuff happened all over the country.
Everywhere.
Here's the
deal. But we
man.
don't hear about it because that's not part of the American story you want to know about.
Exactly.
But the deal with this decision is, could they still do the things that you suggested? Yes. The Supreme Court decision that they made it that you have to jump through those hoops to get what you want. Compared to, okay, you heard what the Supreme Court said, now we in control of the waters and we're just going to roll up in here. We live in the United States where the branches of law was supposed to be checks and balances. That has been long gone for a while now.
Never existed.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or never existed. It's basically you're just a bump in the road. Basically, that's what they're doing for a while now. You're a bump in the road. You are more or less trying to think of the word. You're trying to make sure that your part of your legislation, of your branch of government, is not responsible for what happens next. At this point, that's what your job is. Whatever the other branches of government is, and if they still get what they want, you can't blame us. So yeah,
See,
at the very,
but see,
at
the
the
Supreme
very
Court
most,
has no accountability.
hold on things. So at the very most, go by what Thiz is saying. If they do all the things that Thiz said, and they still get the rights to the water on indigenous land, the Supreme Court could literally look at the United States and say, "It wasn't us. We said you couldn't do it.
There's
So you
only
can't say that we're corrupt or all this other stuff. We said you couldn't do it."
But Marlon, you're missing a point here. That's the only branch of government that's not elected. We elect the executive. Well, actually, we only elect the Congress and the Senate because we don't even elect the president. That's the electoral.
It's the only branch that up until recently was assumed to be working.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, and now they were always corrupt. I mean, because
Yep.
you have nobody with oversight authority. So, but all of this really falls back to the Congress. The Congress refused to do its job because it's easier for them to be deadlocked so that they can raise money off of it and sloganeer and pretend to be working, right? While keeping everything as still as possible. The only thing they ever agree on is taxes. If you ever watch the left and the right, they always agree on taxes. They fight
and
in
military
the streets,
budgets,
but they always vote together on them damn taxes, right? And war. But they delegated all of their executive authority that they basically to the executive branch. They made the president a much more powerful position than it should be. And then they made the judicial much more powerful than it should be, all because Congress doesn't want to do its job.
All right, everybody, we're gonna have to cut this short because Parker's message. Power went out twice in the last 15 minutes, but it's back on. It's low-key freaky when you get one of those emergency tornado alerts on your phone where it starts vibrating and everything. I sometimes forget that you can get some of those alerts on your phone. So, Parker, I'm not going to keep you on. I'd rather you be safe than listen to us.
Please. Yeah.
Trust me, you can listen to us for the rest of this week because I got a lot of work for Tuesday and Wednesday to cut these videos out, including a 4 freaking hour show and almost a 2.5 hour show here. So I'm not gonna keep everybody on.
And plus, we're tired for some reason. We're just
and I'm tired. I really am. I hope I get some better sleep than I did last night. Tracy, find you.
Your sound cut out. What did you say?
I said, Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, this Tuesday, you can find me on the Tracy Shows. I will be discussing best cartoon rivalries and its political connections, so I can be not accused of being silly. Thank you. That's at 7 p.m. by the way, Eastern Standard Time.
Anna?
I can be found at BoreliaEtc. For the most part, though, you can find me right here at Radical Truth to Power.
Thiz?
You can't find me. I'm nowhere.
But if we could find you,
if you could find me, I would be in the last place that you looked.
He's not that
Radical Truth to Power and Saturday Night Vibes. That's where you can find me. There you go.
He's not that damn mysterious, trust me. Everybody, make sure that you tune in to Tracy's show Tuesday so she could do her advertisement for her catering business.
Not mine.
She giving out hot plates and all that other stuff.
That's my brother's catering business, not mine. I support family.
Wow.
Okay.
And she support us too. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course, because I don't want Anna giving me a roll of her eyes.
I'm assuming you're legitimate until you come out.
that is our show for tonight. I truly appreciate Anna. I truly appreciate Theus. I truly appreciate Tracy. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
You know, I think Lindsey Graham might just be the most underappreciated member of Congress.
If you don't be quiet. Looking at
Lindsey
that.
Graham still there.